Welcome into this latest edition of the Charleston County Connects podcast. I'm your host, Sean Smetana, and today we are joined by Christina Moskos, who checks notes, is the program manager. Program manager. Charleston County Environmental Management. And Christina, a lot of waste management is handled through Charleston County. You oversee the recycling operation.
That's correct, yes.
And this month we have Earth Day coming up. And you guys have several things in store. Tell us about that.
We do. So our Earth Day event will be hosting on Saturday, April 22nd, which is Earth Day. We are going to be hosting a drop-in at the recycling center, so everyone can take a look at our fabulous education space, bring all of their recycling questions to discuss with our experts. We can answer any questions you have about Charleston County's recycling program, what goes in the blue cart, what doesn't, all that great stuff. We'll also be having a free confidential document shredding event. And we'll also be accepting plastic bags for proper recycling. Plastic bags are not accepted in Charleston County's recycling program, so this is a great opportunity to recycle them correctly. And if you bring in plastic bags to recycle, we will give you a free reusable tote bag, so hopefully you won't have to use plastic bags in the future. And again, that Earth Day event is going to be on Saturday, April 22nd from 10 a.m. to noon. It's going to be held at the Charleston County Recycling Center, or MRF, which is at 8099 Palmetto Commerce Parkway.
Okay, the shredding event is cool. This is something that is done every year at Charleston County. It's pretty popular too. I mean, why do you think people enjoy that free opportunity?
Well, we like to offer the free document shredding because, again, shredded paper is not an item that we can accept in our recycling program. So this gives folks an opportunity to, spring clean, get together all those documents you've been holding on to, and have them not only confidentially shredded, but also recycled properly, since we don't want those items in your blue recycling cart.
And the confidential is a big thing. A lot of people have old bills, all that stuff lying around the house, and we work with the service to make sure that it is taken care of properly, and people can actually wait and see their documents go in and get shredded.
Correct. Yeah, all the shredding will be done on site by the vendor, and this shredding event is open to Charleston County residents only. We ask that businesses kind of dispose of their materials separately. This is for Charleston County residents.
Okay. The plastic bags, new element this year. Very cool. We certainly understand plastic bags are not to be included in your curbside cart. So when people bring them to you guys, what's happening with them there?
So plastic bags are a huge issue. They're our number one contaminant in the recycling stream right now, and they just cause huge processing issues at the recycling center. What happens is plastic bags or any bagged items, plastic wrap, any of that soft, flexible plastic, it gets wrapped around the rotors in the sorting equipment. It causes shutdowns at the recycling center. So, in order to keep the value of the recyclable material as high as possible, we want to try to avoid plastic bags in the recycling stream. So us accepting them at the Earth Day event, we're not going to be recycling them, here at Charleston County's Recycling Center. We'll be sending them to a vendor who can recycle them properly because we don't accept them in Charleston County's recycling program.
One common question, I'm sure, so when there are single-use plastic bag bans in effect, there are certain businesses that use the thicker bags, and in some cases it'll actually say recyclable on it, which is in fact true, just not in the municipal system. Is that the best way to explain it?
That's a great way to explain it, because although something is deemed recyclable, that does not necessarily mean that it's accepted for recycling here in Charleston County. That's the big distinction. 99.9% of everything that we use on a daily basis is reusable or recyclable in some sense, but does that mean you should put it in your blue Charleston County recycling cart?
Right.
Probably not. We always say that we have a pretty short list of items that we accept in Charleston County's recycling program. It's plastic bottles and containers, glass bottles and jars, aluminum cans, steel cans, tin cans, paper and flattened cardboard, and that's it. If it's not one of those items, we don't want it in your blue recycling cart.
Yep, and the reason for that is, number one, maintain efficiency, and number two, it adds value to those recyclable items.
Absolutely, yeah. The more efficient we are with processing, the higher value that we're going to be able to get for those items. So it's important to avoid contamination and make sure that you understand, again, like we just said, not an item might say that it's recyclable, but is it accepted here in Charleston County? That's kind of the big distinction.
All right. The other cool part about this event is if people haven't had the opportunity, they get to actually see the Education Center inside the MRF. And it's a great educational tool for you guys because they do have the opportunity to kind of see firsthand how everything operates.
Exactly. So we've got a lot of interactive educational displays that people can, read more about how the program works and the importance of recycling and why we have this program in place. And we also have viewing windows where you can actually take a peek onto the processing floor to kind of get an idea for how material is flowing through the processing plant, what happens at the recycling center, and it just kind of gives people a good idea of what the recycling center is and what happens there. And again, everyone on our staff will be on hand to answer any questions. All your burning recycling questions can be answered at this event.
And not just that event, you guys do have a lot of different ways for people to ask recycling questions. Can you kind of go over some of the different ways people can get a hold of you?
We do. So we have a live chat function on our website. You can actually chat with one of our staff during business hours. Our website also has a wealth of information. The website is recycle.charlestoncounty.org. Folks can also contact us via CityBot, as well as following us and reaching out to us on our Facebook page. We're just Charleston County Environmental Management on Facebook. Additionally, you can reach out to us via email. It's just simply recycle@charlestoncounty.org. And then obviously we also have our main phone number where you can also reach out if you have a question that needs an immediate response. And that phone number is 843-720-7111.
Okay. And I did notice, being a county resident, in March we've started to get the annual newsletter. Great information about what can be recycled, extra information about who to call if you have trash concerns, because that is not a Charleston County function. Anything else in the newsletter I'm missing?
So the newsletter does contain the recycling pickup schedule for the remainder of the year, so through the end of December. A lot of people like to circle their day and make sure that they have the day correct. Got a lot of information about correct cart placement on your service day. You want to make sure the cart is out on the curb before 7 a.m. You want to make sure the cart has at least 3 feet of clearance on all sides so that the truck can properly service it. You want to make sure that the lid is closed and all items are contained inside the recycling cart. And again, the newsletter contains all sorts of information as far as what is and is not accepted in the program. We also have a great tool on our website, which is a Recycle Service Day lookup, where you can just simply go to our website, type in your address, and it shows you your next service day, as well as the color that you are on the map, in case you're trying to correspond that to the printed newsletter you received in the mail.
Very cool. Very cool. So a lot of good recycling information. Great Earth Day event coming up. And one more question. Do you know why people are so tired on Earth Day?
I don't.
It's because they just completed a march.
It's a good one.
Thank you.
One.
Thank you.
I'm going to use that.
Yeah, it's what I do. So thanks again for coming in here, and we will be back on a later edition of Charleston County Connects podcast. Thank you.